Hola y bienvenidos to a brand new episode of my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we are here for the Spanish Grand Prix, my second home race, of course, a country where I live. And yeah, Barcelona on the agenda for this one. Now, we are fresh off the back of the Monaco Grand Prix. We did it in cockpit view, we did it with default setup, we did it with 110 AI. If you want to see what happened, go check it out. Link in the top right, spoiler warning ahead. So this is your chance to go see what happened around the Principality and if the barriers claimed multiple victims. Now, for this one, Spain, a track that I enjoy, especially, of course, since they removed the final chicane a couple of years back. Going into this one, the feedback is positive, the fan sentiment is positive, the fan rating is positive.
Can I borrow you for a moment, boss?
So it seems we have a personnel facility event, so let's quickly check it out and see what it entails. Now, we have a hiring campaign. Basically, this goes hand in hand with what recently we've been looking for to try and hire more staff, and we want to run a campaign, but that's going to have a cost. To be fair, 50 grand is, a drop in the ocean for us, so we'll go ahead and run our campaign to hopefully attract more staff as we browse over to the team owner tab. Now, we have a few messages and a few updates to get through, starting off, of course, the first one, title sponsor loyalty grows. So again, because of the result last time out, the win in Monaco, we have really increased our sponsor loyalty with X-Formig, and you can see we're very close now to being halfway level 5, unlocking a new decal design and also a new livery level 6, so making really good progress here. Now, of course, that's one thing. The other thing to note here, of course, is Matthias Hartmann very happy with the progress as we, of course, won Monaco, so our second win of the season. Both wins have come under Nikola Solov, when we've been under his control, basically. And yeah, we today are back with Jarno on the controls as we delve into the activities for this race. Now, a short turnaround between Monaco and Spain, so not a lot of time to really do much, but we are going to do a podium celebration from that Monaco race. And then we're also, on the corporate tab, do a fan outreach to improve our fan rating a little bit more. So with that out of the way, we can now delve into upgrades for today's episode. You can see we have quite a few on chassis, on powertrain, and durability. So we're going to go ahead and get the rear floor under tray started out on that one as well. So you can see we've got two simultaneous upgrades on the go. Pistons done. We're now going to move to spark plugs, and we're going to do the first of two upgrades for that. And also the ICE level 1 has arrived for one of our cars. We're going to do the second one now for hopefully our second driver in a few races time. So yeah, upgrades ticking along very nicely. Now, that aside, we are going to assign the ICE upgrade to Solov for this weekend's race. We are driving as Jarno, so the upgrades will go to Solov, and we'll see how he performs this weekend. So upgrade number 1, the ICE will go for him, and yeah, we'll see how that changes in the next couple of days. Now, we have some research to do here, so we're going to quickly delve in. Now, the aero is actually maxed out. We can't do anything else here, so we're going to jump into the facility improvements. So we have 1 day left on the expansion for the aero. Once that arrives, we can actually purchase the aero breakthrough, which is going to allow us to basically unlock a new tier of aerodynamic upgrades, which is basically what's limiting us right now. So yeah, moving on.
Chief, I must remind you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
We receive the development expansion for the aero, which basically, like with the chassis a few episodes ago, we can now develop, not research, develop 2 aerodynamic upgrades in stereo. So basically double development, dual development, twice the pace, twice the upgrades. We've also moved to phase 2 in the engineering, so our workforce has gone up enough that we're now considered phase 2. We had that last episode, of course, with the corporate facility, so we're starting to really level up, and there is the aero breakthrough. We've purchased it, so hopefully that will arrive soon and we can work and research some more parts moving forward. But here is the free slot. We're going to go ahead and throw on another aerodynamic upgrade. We have the secondary wing flaps on the way. We're going to add a second one to that, and they're going to be 7 days apart. So yeah, now we're talking real progress here as we delve back into the team owner tab. Reason being is because we have received another owner training point. So we're going to spend that and have a little think about where it's best suited. Now, we have a few unlocks that we've received recently, and the personnel department is something that I need to work on. It's a bit isolated, but for this one we are going to focus on engineering. And out of the 3 that we have here, the one that I want to do is exemplify success, which basically impacts to morale in this department are going to be more beneficial when the fan sentiment is positive, which right now it is because we're flying really high, you'll see we can't actually apply the training for that training point right now because of the short turnaround. So we'll do that after the Spanish Grand Prix has come and gone. And yeah, we're going to move ahead and jump into a few more updates. Now you can see upgrades have arrived, research has been completed, so we have more changes. You can see research wise, if we go to the chassis, we have received the energy store cell positioning, and we're going to go and do the monocoque structure as well. So research done, we go to development, and we're going to now start working on some more upgrades. So one batch of the secondary wing flaps have arrived, so we're going to whack on now some wing mirrors for drag reduction. Rear floor under tray also has arrived, so we're going to go for the energy store cell positioning to start upgrading that as well. And yeah, we're just flying right now, making excellent progress with all of our updates, and it helps that we're not having many failures. Now, if we go to assign upgrades, we're going to put both of those onto Solov, so triple upgrade for Nikola Solov this weekend, plus the ones that he was owed after we upgraded Jarno's car a few episodes ago. Now, I want to focus on the performance chart for a bit. You can see we are very close, very, very close to overtaking Sauber and VCarb here with potentially one more upgrade. So it looks like for the first time this season, soon we may be getting off the foot of the table and actually moving up a little bit in terms of our raw performance, which is great. So with that done and dusted, we're going to jump into the weekend here at Barcelona, and we're going to select, of course, Solov. Both of our drivers have recently leveled up. Solov with a 96 focus right now off that win in Monaco, so we'll let him cook with the AI drive and see how he gets on as we jump into the forecast, which looks to be dry for qualifying and the race, so that's good to see. And then we're going to jump into the championship standings. Now, of course, that win last time out for Solov does mean that actually he has a pretty sweet lead. And yeah, in terms of, well, I'll say lead over Jarno, that is, you know, in terms of the inter-team battle. But generally speaking, overall it's going quite well. We've got some really good positions early on. I want to get some points because we missed out with the points Jarno last time, so it'd be nice to get back in the points here today. So yeah, we're going to get to it, starting out with our car setup, and we're going to start jumping into the practice programs and looking to, you know, try and hopefully make some progress and get our weekend off to a good start. So setup done, into the track acclimatization program as always, looking to get the car shaken down up to speed, and we're going to see how we get on. So far so good, purple gates except for turn 2 all across the board, so we're going to get a maximum score off the rip, and you can see there, purple score, lovely stuff. Then we go into the race simulations, and this was on the medium tyre. No dramas, 5 very good laps. Car felt reasonably good, to be fair. Spain's a really good track to drive. I quite enjoy it, especially, like I said before, with the removal of the final chicane at sector 3 and returning to this corner right here. It really does feel like a much better, nicer racetrack. And also in this game, they have got rid of some of the bumps as well, so that also helps. Anyway, over the line, job done. Tyre wear to note quite high, 1.25%. That's a little bit of a eyebrow raiser, to say the least. Fuel also on the higher end, but to be fair, fuel's been fine. We had no issues so far this season. Data has been super accurate as we now jump into the tyre management. This one was a bit tougher, and you'll see we actually failed our first attempt. Also to note, our engine, if in the bottom right you can see our energy store is at 55%, and our MGUK is at 59, so we do have some warm parts, and the energy store being 55 means that our battery capacity now starts to get affected, so we only are allowed to charge to 95%, and that's going to get worse as the weekend goes along. So bear that in mind. We are going to push through though and get through this weekend with this engine as we cross the line and do just get a purple score on the tyre management. So job done. We do get a perfect score across all 3 programs, and that will do very nicely indeed. So practice done. Solov P21, we finished P16, and yeah, it seems like Solov's going to be towards the bottom because he was on softs and only P21. That's a little bit of a not a good sign, but yeah, for us, P16 and medium, seems like the AI might be a bit quick here as well, so we'll see. Hopefully they bounce back after they weren't that great in Monaco. They were super fast in Miami, pretty decent in Imola as well, so yeah, we're going to jump to qualifying and see how it goes.
It's a Catalonian qualifying for you today. Welcome along to Spain, to Barcelona, and wherever you are in the world, do you feel the need? The need for speed?
So into Q1 then, soft tyres, engine modes up. Speaking of engine, like before, the engine wear light has popped up in the bottom right as we invalidate at turn 9 on our banker. And the issue here is it's quite late as Lando does a 1:11.7. It's too late where we can't recharge to go again, so we're going to have to take an extra cooldown lap and then push. So now eventually we go for, you can see we're 3/10 up compared to what we were doing on that lap, this time keeping it valid, so we are quicker as there's 9 minutes or so to go. Now making our way through sector 3, turns 10, turn 11, now turn 12 as we look to close out the lap, and then the final corner, turn 13, I believe, should be flat. Just taking a little confidence lift in this game. It's not quite easy flat anymore. Over the line, 1:13.5, and Lando before you saw did a 1:11.7, so we are a little bit off the pace. And also Nicholas Solov is P15. Hamilton is splitting us right now, but we're only half a tenth quicker than our teammate. So that's really good to see. On one hand, that Solov's quick. On the other hand, it's annoying that it seems like we don't have that much pace, and the AI, in a good way, are fast this weekend, which is great. So yeah, we're going to have to pick up our pace a little bit. So final run of Q1, we're going to have to burn a fresh set of tyres and also minimum fuel to get into Q2, because right now we are at risk. So turn 1, avoid the sausage curbs on the inside. Turn 2, don't be too greedy on the inside curb either. Turn 3 is completely flat, using a bit of battery as we prepare turn 4. You want to brake at the kind of shadow of the bridge and turn in 4th gear. Open up the exit as we now head downhill towards turn 5, 3rd gear. Hug the curb on the inside as you then open it up and use all that extra curb on the way out. A little bit of battery as we then head into 6 and 7. Lots of curb on the left, none on the right. That sausage curb is a killer. Turn 9 should be flat, and I think it is flat in 6th gear as we use a lot of battery and DRS. Now on the anchors as the curb turns green on the right for the braking zone into turn 10 through 11 and 12, I believe. Keep it tight and then open it up on the way out. Use all that curb where the bump used to be an F124. Flat out through here. Is the last corner flat? Yes, it is in qualifying. Battery to the line. We're going to improve. But is it enough? We were in the drop zone. Are we safe? Yes, we are. P14. So we do make it into Q2 under pressure there. We was in the drop zone and we had to deliver. But the big surprise, Nicholas Solov, P11. With that 96 focus and the triple upgrade, he is quick. He is razor sharp. And he delivers an absolute flyer in qualifying. Also puts 2/10 on me. So fair play. What a lap as both Spaniards just make it through. Now into Q2, this wasn't in the forecast, but we have rain inbound. It's not raining right now. I just had a little check here, but you can see the rain icons are actually present. So we're going to go out just to check and make sure that that's true.
5 minutes until rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Well, looks like that is true. So we're going to get straight on it. And I can tell you, there's a bit of a bug which has happened before this season. And I believe it's going to get patched in the upcoming patch notes. But basically, it's not raining visually, but it is. Because the track has no grip. You'll see me just fighting the car everywhere here. We're the 4th car on the track or the 4th car on the road to get a lap down. But there's no grip. So it's actually raining. You can't see it, but it is. Because I'm on a fresh set of softs and the grip is very, very poor. So in a nutshell, we just had to get the lap in. And that's exactly what we did. George Russell 1:14.1. Obviously better conditions for him. I will admit my lap was a bit of a shambles, but I thought it would be dry, and it isn't. It's actually raining, and we're going to cross the line with a 1:15.9, way off the pace. Last at the moment out of those who have crossed the line, but will we make it into Q3? The answer is yes. Luckily, we do get bailed out by some other cars going out even later. Leclerc and Verstappen out in Q2. Solov also out in P14. He went out extremely late. And we get through, not because of the pace, but because we just went out early and got lucky. So we fluke a Q3 when it shouldn't have been the case, and now we contest it in fully wet conditions. Now, I'm not going to lie, this first lap in Q3 on the Inter was shambolic. I had to basically get my bearings and readapt, change my braking markers, my braking zones, and all my corner lines, and just kind of readapt to wet conditions. And it's not often that I have rain around here, so this was actually quite an experience for me and something quite rare. Now the dry line was starting to form. It was happening quickly, and when that dry line forms, the track's getting quicker, the grip's getting better. So it's going to be one of them ones where it's going to likely be the case. We're going to want to be out at the end on our fresh set of intermediates, and going for a flying lap at the end. So we basically did a little first run here where we tried to roll a few laps together back to back to back, and just kind of build up my confidence and also have a live feel for the track conditions. And you can see first lap was 1:27.9, absolutely miles off. I think I was seconds off the car ahead, which isn't great. Second lap though, we're starting to find a bit of lap time. Not a lot, but it's a respectable amount. And we get the penultimate corner horribly wrong. Absolutely just, no grip, understeer galore. And we do actually still improve marginally, but we know there's a fair chunk of time to be found at that corner. We go for another one, and we're currently a couple of tenths up, but we have a dilemma. Do we box and put some fresh tyres on, or do we commit? Because the track is evolving, the line's getting clearer and clearer by the second. Now this is where the time is at this last corner. I'm 2 tenths up right now, but I'm actually going to box. I had a quick flash of the tyres and I saw they were only at like 2%, but I'm going to box for that fresh grip. We're going to go for minimum fuel, car as light as possible, and we are going to go for one more attempt. And I could tell straight away the track grip was much, much higher. We're going to use all of our battery, because last time I didn't really have a full charge for that lap to really go quick, but now we do. And we're going to use a lot of it to try and hopefully find some pace. Now, through the first chicane, I broke a little bit early for turn 1, lost all my advantage, but we found so much time through 1, 2 and 3, and we're 3 tenths up already. Eventually, we found over a second, and currently we're 6 tenths down on Norris in P6 as the checkered flag has dropped. So the pace isn't great. I think in the wet in this game, the AI are quicker, which is good. I do welcome it. They're just a bit dumb and sometimes use wets when it's intermediate conditions, but 1.5, we're now going to head through the area where we made the mistake last time, so we should gain 3 lap time here, and that's exactly, you look at that, we find a second already, so we're going to improve by 2.5 seconds. The question is, does it give us anything? The answer is no, P10. So, listen, I didn't deserve to make Q3, I kind of fluked it with the conditions. We didn't have pace for Q3, and in Q3 in the wet, we had no pace. We was only a tenth off our one, but then there's pretty much a second at Norris in P8. So yeah, top 8 are in a different postcode. For us, P9 would have been the absolute maximum we could have done, and I think that was possible, but that would have been it for us. So no complaints. I take positives from Solov's performance in qualifying, that the car's working, the upgrades are working, and yeah, we'll see what happens in the main event. Either way, points are going to be on the table, but they're going to be hard to get. So let's get into it.
So many eventful races here in Barcelona over the years. Do you remember Max Verstappen's first win on debut for Red Bull here in 2016? 2 years before, we had the dramatic coming together of Hamilton and Rosberg going towards turn 4. There's always a treat in store as we head back to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Piastri, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Hamilton, Norris, Albon, Opmeer and Charles Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Lance Stroll and Solov, Behrman, Gasly, Jack Doohan and Nico Hülkenberg, Ocon, Bortoletto, Lawson and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, former racing driver herself, Naomi Schiff. Now, Ant, you always tell me you know Barcelona almost as well as you know the back of your hand. Given the amount of testing that goes on here and the amount of laps that you and all the other drivers have done, what are the challenges that are left when it comes to the race?
Well, this certainly is a favourite track when it comes to testing. And I'll tell you why that is. It's because it offers up so much variation. You've got corners that are fast, that are slow, that are long, that are short. So there's a lot to think about and a lot to work with. But T9 is one of my personal favourites because it is so challenging. Every time you get there, you think, should I lift or should I stay flat? Well, I tell you, stay flat. Commit.
Right, here we go then. Time for the race, time for the main event. P9 on the grid. We've moved up. I believe Verstappen had a grid drop penalty, so that has given us already a decent starting spot. We're already in the points and we're on for 2 as it stands in P9. I don't think the pace is super strong this weekend. I think qualifying kind of showed we are a little bit on the back foot, and that could be translating into the race. Now, this one is going to be interesting strategy-wise. So we have the projected strategy, the default original, and then the personalized one. Now, both of them are opting to use a soft at the beginning of the stint, and then a medium, and then a hard. I'm not going to lie, I don't particularly love the idea or the possibility of using a soft at the start. It might make us slow, but I'm leaning towards a medium. The fuel running is 33 laps exactly on the nose, because in Monaco, we tried it, it worked well. And of course, with 2 stops, we should be able to save fuel as well. Now, what I'm thinking here is maybe starting on a medium tyre. So, do we have one? No, we don't. We don't have a medium available. We only have another hard. So, realistically, how much slower would this make us? A 430, if we were to revert that to what it was before, is 428. So I think for the sake of better tyre temps, I'm inclined to give this a go and try to make this work. So I think we're going to run with this and see how it goes. Well, I'll say this, it was a good decision that we changed to mediums because everybody else is on that compound as well. So it seems that's going to be the common theme. So it's likely Solov may have actually gone for the softs for the race start, which could be interesting. Either way, we're going to get all burnt out on the go here just to get them rears fired up. And we're going to jump in and see how it goes. Right, let's get to it. Here are the lights. Let's get to it, shall we? Long run to turn 1. Start critical. Bit of wall spin off the line, but we get a great second phase. Trying to pick a side here. Everyone moving all over the place as we race down towards turn 1. Side by side here with Lando Norris. Verstappen already moving up as we get a whole load of dirty air through turn 3, trying to get tight.
We're accumulating somewhere on the MGUK. To manage this, we're going to need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
Yeah, leave me to it, Chief. I'm just trying to tackle with the traffic here, but trying to take different lines to break the dirty air. What a start though, up to P6. Insane. Can we hold it? That's the big question. I'll try and give it a shot, but it won't be easy. I think we've got an Aston Martin.
Right, we've got a very worn out MGUK. Our battery charge speed is suffering, and if it gets much worse, we could be forced to retire.
Yeah, don't worry. I know. I think we've got an Aston Martin leading the way, which is insane. I think it might be Alonso. We'll get confirmation now over the line, but that's insane. For now, I just got to try and stay within DRS range. Won't be easy. These guys ahead are on softs. Alonso does indeed lead the way.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
We've got some split strategies, so I'm just trying to get involved. 3 wide up ahead. Contact. Not sure how much debris of that is going to be someone's front wing, but sparks fly. Sonoda moves up. We get a whole load of dirty air, which it feels like that here. I don't really get dirty air the same way the player does, but either way, that's going to allow us to hopefully stay in contact. So Piastri was on the medium, so that would explain.
The energy store's depleting, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
Yep. I know how the game works. I think that would explain why there were 3 wide. Piastri wasn't that quick on the medium. So the guys on softs had to make a move and get through. So we are within DRS range for the time being. Oh, I don't know if I lost DRS or maintained, though we managed to hold on just.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Norris is having a timid look. Don't know why he tried to clip my left rear there, but that wasn't ideal. We got a warning for track limits at the last corner. I didn't know if Norris was going to commit to the move or not. I think he got damage. He's dropping back quickly, but yeah, that's cost us DRS now. It just felt like a very half-committed move. He should have just backed out. He was nowhere near alongside into turn 1 there on the outside. Either way, we've got a warning to our name. Now Lando's got damage, he's dropping back, so we've got a bit of a gap now, front and behind, so we can chill for a bit and manage the race. Right, Norris is in. The amount of time that group has lost, and they were seemingly unable to pass him. I don't know if Norris maybe lost his whole front wing or something, but they lost a lot of time. Either way, we've now got a comfortable margin, which is a welcome surprise from that consequence of that incident. So Hamilton setting the pace. That soft tyre still hanging in there. 17-0 for us. Leclerc's already gained a second on me, so he's pushing and dropping Antonelli right now.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
That's our pace, 17-1. Been like it for the last 3 laps. Leclerc still closing in. Albon also pushing behind.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
I swear I only had 1 warning from that previous sequence. Unless I've been given a double warning somewhere. That's only my second one, right? So first 3-second time penalty of the season, I believe. Meanwhile, Leclerc will be coming straight through here.
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Not going to slow him down. Going to see if I can try and stick with him and stay in his DRS. Just been dropped by Leclerc through here. This is a pit stop lap, so we're probably going to just stick to the plan. Leclerc stays out, so I'll box in, and we'll see if I can maybe undercut to stick with Leclerc here. Still can't believe that penalty. Absolutely insane. I want to actually just quickly double check, because I feel like I only had 2 warnings. So yeah, I got 2 warnings on lap 2. Must have been a double, surely. I only ran off track at the last corner, right, by a whisker, so I've been penalised twice for that. Anyway, back to the pit stop. Here we go, hard tyres on. Looks like we're on a bit of a different strategy to everybody else today. Alonso's in there with us, but he's gone onto the mediums, so I'm assuming he started on softs. So we are going to be also a compound harder than everybody else. Good stop, 2.5, straight back out.
Okay, 1 stop to go. Just 1 stop left in this strategy.
Look who we're going to encounter. Lando Norris, who is of course recovering from, I'm guessing, a front wing change. I mean, he'll be probably getting past me fairly swiftly, unless he's already burnt through his soft tyres, so I won't make it hard for him, but he's got to get through a bit more convincingly than before. Right, everybody's in.
Right, Nicola's in the pits. Nicola is in the pits.
Including Solov. Right then, does Lando go by? You can have the outside, mate. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's a bit more convincing. That's more like it. Makes more sense that way. Put my car in the middle of the track, let him have the outside like before, but this time he goes through. Alright, let's keep on it then. Alonso 14.7. Let's see what we do. Following Lando's dirty air, no DRS, just as a reference. 16.8. Yeah, the pace isn't great. Look at that, Albon's actually almost overcut me, so it's really not that great today. Again, if we get a point, I think that's going to be a good result. We outperformed in qualifying, so we are fighting to stick with the program here and try and get a point. That penalty, though, might put an end to our chances. Whoa, big slide there from Norris. First signs that he's struggling on his tyres a little bit. And we're a little bit closer on this lap, so we may have a chance here to go back through. 16.1, bit of a better lap. Albon lurking behind. He might fancy a move. He's having a look. So I'll leave a bit of space. But we'll keep him back for now. Right, Albon will go through on this one. I'm not as close to Norris. Albon's probably a good car to follow. And we should even out on tyre wear by the end of our stints. So we need to kind of stick with him, really, ideally. Albon's really quick. Pressuring Lando here. Big time. They're both kind of forcing each other to use battery. And I'm just getting dropped as a result. I can't keep up with this pace. Sainz will be arriving soon on soft tyres. There goes Albon through on Norris. Had no DRS on that back straight. But we're still pushing. On for a personal best here. I'm going flat out to try and get within Norris's DRS. But it's going to be tricky. Just managed to get it. Just. No more pace in this one though. There's Leclerc. Leaving the pit exit right now. He's going to be right in our way. Here comes Sainz as well, making this interesting. I'm just going to go around the outside of both of them. A bit of contact with Leclerc, but that's crucial. Lost time to Albon now. He's well gone. Leclerc one stopping it seems. We're going to be letting Leclerc and Sainz through here. I'm just going to do my own pace now, really. Antonelli's in. I'm not going to burn battery too much, but it's going to save what I've got. I don't think we're going to score points today. It's looking a bit tricky right now. So let's just stick with these two and see what we can do. But right now, that penalty, any chance of a point as well, is going to probably put an end to it. So we'll just keep at it. There might be a DNF or something up the road. That might bring us a free position, but it's looking tricky at this point in time. Still one stop to go. Little 5-car pack though, starting to form here. Some slower cars are being caught by Albon and Norris. So you never know, we might still kind of form up here into a little group. I've managed to just about stay with Sainz and his DRS as well. Norris finally pits. So he's now jumped us. He'll go hards to the end likely. Sainz in the pit lane. Nobody else?
In this lap, push now.
Right, I think we're going to stick to the strategy, so we'll go for the hard. Don't really have an answer right now, unfortunately. This is all we've got. In we go then. Hamilton's in. We've actually burnt through our fuel a little bit. Running in clean air. Nice. Right, in we go then. We'll save a bit of fuel now, but there's not really much to say. There's not much to go for in this race. I really think it's going to be tricky to score points. That penalty is going to put an end to any chance, I think, of us getting that. But we'll keep trying. I don't really know what the strategies are at right now, which is what I love about this game. I will say I can't predict who's got stops to do or who hasn't.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Well, there's Solov. Again, not sure what strategy he's on right now, but it's all to play for. But we are down to P17, which is ouch, considering we was P6 at one point. That hurts a little bit, but I feared the pace wasn't great around here. So we'll see how this final stint pans out. Only thing I've gained is brake bias. I've managed to put it to 52 and still drive it, so we're gaining a bit of rotation, but that's about it. I don't know how much engine wear is affecting it with the MG UK and the energy store, but other than that, pace just isn't there. We've been dropped by Solov, you can see already here, although my tyres are a bit cold. We should be able to creep back into DRS range here if I'm close enough. Yes, we do. Just. Oh wow, okay. Solov pits. I had no idea what his tyres were.
Caution, caution.
Yellow flag.
Okay, Nicola's coming in for his stop now.
It's up ahead though, I think.
Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Carlos Sainz out of his home race. So suddenly we are now P11. That changed quick.
Green flag.
Well, everyone behind's on medium, so it's going to be tricky to keep them out of the 3-second window. I mean, Stroll's already within 3 seconds. We'll see though, if anybody else has to still stop or anybody else retires. Let's guess a really fine line, but it could still be game on, you never know. 10 laps to go. Stroll's already within 2 seconds, so I don't think we're keeping Stroll out of the 3-second time penalty window. Matter of fact, he'll probably pass us this time next lap. So we'll keep at it. But this won't last long. 15.9, that's our pace, personal best. Stroll managed to keep him out of DRS for a bit, but he'll get it here though. Right, Lance will likely go through here. Nothing I can do. Might get a chance to manage fuel a little bit behind him. We'll just let him go. Not my battle to fight really. At least not for now. We can stick with him. Maybe at the end we can fight back on the hard, because we only have 1 lap tyre difference. But the issue here is that, yeah, I suffer way more than the AI. Stroll's pulling us away from Gasly right now, which is good. Hanging in there for the time being, but I'm on the limit. I don't have a lot of battery to work with, but this is doing the job. Currently on for a personal best, thanks to Stroll's DRS assistance. Look at that, 15.8. Yes, sir, we will take that. Thank you very much. Stroll's extra slow on this lap. We are all over the back of him. Might be the crossover point, you never know. I'm going to take a little bit of charge. So I'm not going to pass him unless I get a clear run. But now's a good time to get a bit of charge up on the battery, and then maybe try and make a move to drop him and get that 3-second gap. Bit of a lock up there. Gasly closing in behind. Wow, Stroll's really struggling all of a sudden. Gasly's closing in big time. Might be time to make that move. And the time might be now. On the inside. Stroll suddenly just has massively slowed down. Hopefully it continues, and you know, Gasly can catch up to him and they can battle, and that will be our little escape ticket. Well, let's see. Yeah, Stroll's definitely slow. We'll have to burn to offset his DRS. He's still in my DRS, but I've practically got him out. I think he's got a car issue or something. Not been told over the radio, but he has dramatically slowed down all of a sudden. Gasly through straight away. Now we'll see if we can try and pull away from Pierre, but that won't be as easy. I think we lost a little bit too much time behind Stroll. I should have passed him on that lap before. I wasn't really aware how bad this issue was. Yellow.
Okay, clear.
It's Pierre. He's just blown up. Pierre's gone. Well, there we go then. That might just be it. So, if someone in the top 10 drops out, we'll get a point. If not, then P11 is where we're going to finish in this one. Verstappen's won already. Meanwhile, Ocon, Hulkenberg, and a few others have passed Stroll. Just going to make sure we finish P11. No points for it, of course, but just for pride and making sure we get a decent result. Got a nice bit of battery to burn here. The fuel's a little bit marginal, so we'll have to just do a little lift and coast through here, and that should get us over the line. Shame though, penalty really didn't come into it in the end, but we just lacked pace. I mean, look at the gap to Norris in P10. Just wasn't top 10 points pace that they bottom line. The real pace of all the cars showed, and we weren't quite there. So yeah, we'll take it. Decent result, but another 0 for Otmir.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again, because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
It's one thing to put fast laps together, but to make these moves stick without losing too much time, that's real racecraft.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these three have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again, because Max Verstappen is back on the top step.
So there we go, confirmation of Verstappen, Russell, Piastri, your top 3. Tsunoda, Hamilton, Leclerc, Alonso, who was leading of course at the beginning of the race in P7, Albon, Antonelli and Lando scores the final point. We finished P11, just missing out with Jarno on a point, but yeah, like I said, the gaps speak for themselves, the lap times, the pace. I mean, even me compared to Ocon, Hulkenberg, Stroll, I'm in the 115s as my PB, you know, I just wasn't quick in that race, really. I think had I started P20, it would have been P18 or P17 as a final race result. I really think, you know, we just weren't quick today. Solov a lap down, Gasly, of course, DNF with Sainz. So, yeah, I think both of us struggled for race pace. We both done well in qualifying, but race pace just wasn't there. And, yeah, so it's a lot because the 2 slowest, best lap times of the race was Solov and myself, as Jarno admitted. We was literally 4 tenths apart. And the next car after that was actually Jack Doohan. So, yeah, it is what it is. No complaints. Not too mad about that one. You can see we lose a few positions with Otmir. He's now down to 11th as Antonelli moves ahead. Sainz stays in 9th, of course, with that DNF. And Solov stays in P8 with a comfortable margin. So, that's good. Verstappen leads the way in the Constructors. We're 5th. And we still have decent points over Williams, who did score with Albon, to be fair. Quite big today. Aston, of course, scored with Alonso. But yeah, generally speaking, we can keep it moving and it's not the end of the world. So yeah, we'll see what happens on terms of feedback after that one. That might be a bit brutal in terms of, you know, we might get some bad response. It might hit our fan rating a little bit. We might lose some critical momentum. So we'll see exactly how that pans out. That'll be on screen now for you guys to watch and read. But yeah, guys, cheers for watching. As always, a massive shout out to the members of my channel for supporting all the content. As always, check out the 2 videos for more videos like this that you might enjoy. And I'll see you guys very soon. Take care. That's goodbye from me. Ciao.